Good afternoon. Today we are going to finish the Mishnah, the first Mishnah in the second chapter. And this Mishnah was really all about finding your balance. And the last part of the Mishnah is going to put it on the screen. Mishnah tells us, V'histakel bishlosha devarim. You should look at three things. Consider, translation is consider. The word histakel is an interesting word. It kind of means to look at, but it's not just to look at, just to see something, but it's to look at with concentration and trying to understand. So that's why consider is the translation used here, because really it's bringing your mind to it. So think about three things. And you will not come to sin. You should know what is above you. Ayin roa, an eye that sees, va'ozen shoma'as, an ear that hears, v'chol ma'asecha ba'sefer nichtavin, and all of your deeds are written in the book, or a book. Okay, so we're actually familiar with this idea of things written in a book from Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, right? We know we have a book where everything that a person does is written down and recorded, and then it comes to be judged on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. So this is the same idea. Obviously, when it says a book, it doesn't have to mean it's not a physical book. It's not literally a book, but it means that it's all recorded by Hashem, that everything that we do is not forgotten. It's there, and it's going to come back. I say to haunt us, but in a sense, it's going to come back to face us with our deeds. Let's go back to the beginning to take a look at three things. There are three ideas. The idea, again, paying attention to these things is going to make you aware. And when you're aware, then your actions will be much different than if you're not aware. So Rashi explains the idea of know what is above you, which obviously is referring to Hashem, and that Hashem sees and hears everything that we are doing, and everything is recorded and therefore not forgotten. And if we remember and we think about that, then again, our actions will be very different, chances are, from what they are. Rabbeinu Yonah, a little along the same lines, but a little more, he says that Hashem knows everything that we do, right? And there are consequences for our actions, and that's what the recording in the book idea is, that those things that we do good will be rewarded, and those things that we do wrong, they will be punished for. The wording is a little funny because it says three things, and then it seems to be four, because there's know what's above you, and then there's an eye that sees, an ear that hears, and it's written in the book. So a little bit of how that works. And so why are we talking about three things? When you say Hashem knows everything's going on, that's one thing. So Rabbeinu Yonah looks at, he says, think about the idea of if you were in front of a human king or some other important person. So obviously you would also be very careful in how you act and what you would say. You're in a certain type of atmosphere. You're more careful in the words that you use and the action, just how you move, than you would be if you were, just in any place and feeling loose and all that. So therefore, a person should consider themselves as if we're standing in front of Hashem. And that, think of in Shemona Esrei, maybe we take that to an extra level, but all the time, consider yourself as if you're standing in front of Hashem, just like as if we're standing in front of an important person, and that will help ensure that we don't do something wrong and that we act in the proper way. And that we have the eye and that sees, the ears that hear, right? So that's the idea. Hashem knows what we're doing and what we're saying, and nothing is hidden. The third part, Hashem never forgets. So that's the idea of it being written down. Again, the idea about thinking about it. One idea of da malamala mimcha, know what's above you, that something that's above you generally is greater than you, certainly stronger than you. We know even in battle, right? You always want the high ground, right? Because from above, there's a certain advantage. So if we think not just, that Hashem is there, but Hashem is above us, that will also give us another perspective in terms of how the difference between us and Hashem, and that there's a certain awe. We use the word fear, but really it's an awe of Hashem, that Hashem is like right there, right above us. The Tiferes Yisrael says that the idea of being above you is not just physically or spiritually in that sense, but beyond our comprehension, right? Some things are beyond you, it's above you. It's above our heads in the sense that we can't understand it. And we have to realize that Hashem is beyond our comprehension, he's above us. And the three things that we're referring to here are also Hashem sees the things that are in our heart, so that we have thoughts. If we have thoughts, Hashem knows what our thoughts are. Hashem hears our words. So there we have thoughts, we have word, and then we have actions, and he records our actions. So with the three ideas of seeing, hearing, and writing everything down is corresponding to thought, speech, and action, which of course are the three different areas in which we conduct ourselves. The Meiri has an interesting take in that he looks at the idea and says that these three are deterrents to sin, and he says right away, just if we believe Hashem exists and Hashem is a power beyond us, so that in and of itself is right away a deterrent to sin. He puts the eye that sees and the ear that hears together as one concept, because it's the same idea. The point being that everything that we are doing, Hashem is aware of. And he connects it to the idea that we have we did the 13 principles of faith, but you can really narrow it down to three, right? One is Hashem exists. So that's the first one. Know that God is above you. Two is the eye that sees, the ear that hears, is that Hashem knows everything that's going on. That's divine providence. That Hashem is not just, created the world, said, okay, guys, have a nice life, come back in 100 years, right? That's not how it works. Hashem is involved in our lives on a moment-to-moment basis, and that's the idea of divine providence. Hashem sees and hears everything we do, and by the way, acts accordingly. The Meiri doesn't necessarily add this part, but others do also, is that our actions, in a sense, influence Hashem's actions, so to speak, that we are treated the way we act. Based on how we act, that's how Hashem responds to us. And the third part is the recording in the book. And that's, again, the idea that there are consequences for sins, the idea of reward and punishment, right? Which is the third of the three main aspects of the principles of faith. So we have Hashem exists, Hashem knows everything that's going on and is involved on a moment-to-moment basis, and there is reward and punishment, there is consequences for our action, the world to come, etc. All of that goes into it. So when we learned 13 principles of faith, right, this is all encapsulated here, and he says that's the idea over here of know what is above you, the eye that sees, the ear that hears, and finally the recording in the book. And we will hold it here. Have a great day, everyone.